The following is a rebroadcast of TV50's Candlepin Stars and Strikes. WNDS Sports and Tri-State Megabucks present Candlepin Stars and Strikes.
Oh, look at this. Look at it. He got it. Ready for a fair.
Candlepin Stars and Strikes is sponsored in part by Washington Toyota Dodge Nissan.
Looks good. Looks good. That's good to go. It's a
Candlepin Stars and Strikes is produced in conjunction with the New Hampshire Candlepin Bowling Association. And now your hosts, Doug Brown and Dan Murphy.
Everybody, and welcome once again to Candlepin Stars and Strikes here on the Winds of New England. I'm Doug Brown, along with Dan Murphy. So happy that you could join us once again. We begin a brand new 4-week series, Dan, as we are down to needing just 2 more qualifiers for the Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions.
Spring's right around the corner, and with spring comes the Tournament of Champions. I can't wait not only for spring, but for the Tournament of Champions.
Amen to that. All right, let's meet our 2 bowlers to start this 4-week series here on Stars and Strikes. First of all, our number 5 seed, all the way up from Warren, Massachusetts, is Phil Clough.
Okay, Phil comes in averaging 114, high single 206, and a high triple of 466.
And Phil has been with us a couple of times over on the doubles series this season, but this is his first appearance on the singles program. So we welcome Phil, and also we welcome our number 4 seed from Beverly, Massachusetts, Jim Flynn.
And Jim making his first appearance on the singles show, averaging 128, high single 203, high triple 489.
And, of course, Jim will be trying to knock off Phil Clough. They will each be trying to advance to the second round of this 4-week series. We will reveal the names coming up in the weeks ahead right after this first time out. Don't forget, of course, we also have our bonus ball contest at the end of the hour. That is all the way up to $140. So we've got lots to attend to as we begin our brand new 4-week series. And we'll get it started with the first of 3 strings between Jim Flynn and Phil Clough right after these words. Don't go away. As promised, here is a full look at the 5 bowlers in this series on Candlepin Stars and Strikes. You've already met Jim Flynn and Phil Clough. They'll be our competitors today. The winner of this match will face Jack Quinn next week. Tim Lipke is our number 2 seed. Paul Berger, our number 1 seed. Paul Berger, by the way, Dan, attempting in this series to extend his streak. He has been in all 5 Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions in singles competition, so he's trying to make it 6 in a row if he should win this series. But there's a lot of competition down below to take care of before we get to that championship match. Note the 3 700 scores in the roll-off. 3 700 roll-off scores. It's been a while since we've had that many in one group.
Some big scores.
And here is Phil Clough, our number 5 seed.
His roll-off score 673, and he was 5th.
Phil was with us back in January, early January, on doubles competition. Teamed with Dan Broder. They won a match and then lost a semifinal match. And this is the first time in a while that Phil has been here in singles.
He just missed catching the head pin for the spare, but come up with a $10. Has this season flown by or what?
It has.
This is really fast. Already at the end of February, and Tournament Champions right around the corner. I think time flies when you shovel a lot of snow.
Oh, time and snow flew this year.
And it's a spare in second for Phil Clough. Now our first look on the singles show anyways of Jim Flynn. Made 1 appearance on the doubles show.
Yeah, Jim was with us back in, well, almost a year ago today, in fact. It'll be a year ago tomorrow. February 28th, 1993. And he spares in the first. Jim was partnered with Steve Lavery. They lost a very tough 2-pin match to Bob Ferrara and Alex Pendleton. That was the only other time he was with us, so this is his first appearance in singles competition, and he starts with this for the spare.
Moves over to lane 31, and he'll fill that, and he's right back on the head pin, and this time 8, the 5, and the 9. A couple pieces of wood out in front. He'd want to try to avoid those two and try to get the 5-pin and 9-pin clean. He does just that. 2 in a row.
Nice job.
Very nicely done.
By the way, speaking of the end of February and time flying, I want to mention it before we forget that our next taping session here on Candlepin Stars and Strikes here at Park Place Lanes will be on Tuesday, the day after tomorrow, March 1st. So if you are in the neighborhood, Route 28, Windham, New Hampshire, Park Place Lanes, we'd love to see you. Not far from Canopy Lake Park, very easy to get to. And we're here from about 10 in the morning until 4:30 or so in the afternoon. And again, that'll be the day after tomorrow, March 1st. So we invite you to join us here on the Winds.
36 through 3. Might want that one to stay up. Let's see. 3-pin was the last one to topple over. 7, 9, 10. All kinds of lumber out in front. And I would say we'd have to try to tackle the ones in front of the 7-pin and get something to move from left to right for the 9 and 10.
Let's see for Phil. Oh,
yes,
yeah,
very nice.
Over there. Nice shot.
Hey, one of those pieces of wood go airborne into the 9-10.
Had to wait to see if it would carry for him.
Watch this pin up and over, right there.
Jim Flynn. Oh, pretty pocket hit. And will it be a 9 or all of them? It'll be a 9 drop.
A little testy spear this time. 4-pin piece of wood out front. No, very nice. 3 in a row now. Jim Flynn.
Well, this is a pretty good start for Jim.
Again in the pocket. This time a 7 drop. And probably the most difficult spare leave he's had. 3, 5, and 9. Piece of wood out in front.
Oh, yes.
What's the problem? There's no problem there.
Wow.
4 in a row. Always tough with a sleeper in the back like that, but he was almost flush on the 3-pin and drove everything back.
Meanwhile, Phil Clough filling a spare with 6. Phil looking for his first mark here on lane 32. He's marked twice over on 31. And the 10. 62 half. Pretty good, but not good enough in this match so far.
Jim Flynn's already at 64, plus a bonus ball to come in the 4th. That's right in there again on that lane 31. Everything but the 4-pin. Piece of wood behind it, which will freeze up against it, I believe. Oh, he pulled it badly. Looked like he almost rushed that shot. The wood had just settled down when he started his approach. And it's a 9.
Jim Flynn working on his 4th consecutive mark, and now the spread eagle.
He's going to make it 5 in a row. He's going to have one heck of a shot here with the spread eagle.
It's been done before. Let's see. Nope, not this time. Jim from Beverly, Mass. Works for Thomas Ford Sales. Jim has a 5-year-old son, Brian. Does a lot of his bowling at the Beverly Bowlomat and the Pilgrim Lanes in Haverhill. Everybody around bowling circles likes to call Jim Peter's little brother.
And he'll again shoot at the 3, 5, and 9, but this time a piece of wood next to the 3-pin and could prevent him from catching enough of the 3-pin to carry the 9 in the back. So it's 84 now through 6 and a 13-pin advantage for Jim Flynn.
Phil just coming up short on the head pin again on lane 32.
You can see with his follow through ends up way to the left, his arm to the left. He's fighting it to come back. And that time a little more, but full on the head pin, left at 4-7. Ooh,
and the 9.
9. And I put down a 10.
Phil, as we mentioned, all the way up from Warren, Mass. Long drive. Come up and participate with us here on the program. Phil and his wife Diane have 3 children, Eric, Quentin, and Deanna. Phil works as a designer for Warren Pumps Incorporated. Does a lot of his bowling out at the State Bowl in Springfield, Mass. That gives you an idea of how far away he travels from. If you're not familiar with Warren, way out toward the western part of the state.
That's my old neighbor, grown up
That's
neighborhood
right.
out in Palmer and Three Rivers, and still have a lot of relatives out there.
And they've been wondering why you hadn't written, by the way.
Jim back on the head pin. 4, 5, and 7 left, though. Now he's got to play the wood in front of the 4-7, but he's going to need some help with the 5. Whoa!
Let's see. Hold on here.
Oh my!
The 10. So after 4 marks to start the match, 3 opens now in a row for Jim Flynn. The final roll-off for this series held at the B&L Bowl in Hillsborough, New Hampshire. We want to send along a word of thanks and hello to Ed Everson and the gang there for helping us out. There's the strike for Jim Flynn.
Jim needed a little help on the 4-pin. There's the 4. The 7-pin comes rocking off the wall and clears out the 4.
And a 10 box for Phil Clough. But a dry spell for him, too, as he's gone 5 boxes without a mark.
Oh.
And how about that for a break?
Maybe he's been trying to do this all wrong. He's trying to hit the head pin with the first ball. This time he misses it and leaves just the head pin standing.
Being patient, wants to go right at the head pin and forget about the wood after it stops moving.
Might kick forward. Missed it to the left, but enough to get the mark.
Phil had to wait so long. Jim forgot that was for a spare. He's ready to get back up there.
He's working on a strike. I don't want to get right back up there, too. Phil just missing the head pin. Let's see. It's going to be 7.
For his average, 114 in game 1. Jim Flynn already at 104, plus the Phil coming here on the strike in the 8th. Right on the head pin again.
2-4-7. Piece of wood behind the 2-pin for the spare. Oh!
No.
Right around the 7. It's a 9 Phil. Gives him 113 through 8.
And the 10.
23 now through 9 in a 26-pin lead.
By the way, for those of you who are interested in, and I know so many of you are, and interested in hearing the score of that special 3-string match that Dan and I will be rolling for the benefit of the Boys and Girls Club. How about that? Very nice 10 for Jim Flynn. We'll have more information on that coming up after this break. But we have reached the end of our first game. Jim Flynn with the 19-pin lead, and we'll be back with game 2 in a minute.
That's right.
Jim Flynn with a 19-pin lead. And he piled up most of that lead in the first 4 boxes of the match. This could be interesting, Dan.
4, 5, 7, 8, 10. Piece of wood, though. Well, he had to catch a piece of that 4-pin, which was actually moved off the spot a little bit.
I started to say right before the break that, oh, well, now you know that it's off the spot. He just put the ball in between the 4 and the 8-pin. Started to say right before the break that because of the lag time between when the show is taped and when it finally airs, we do not have a result yet for you on that special benefit 3-string match that Dan and I are bowling for the benefit of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Salem, New Hampshire. And Jim misfires on the single. So when we do have the result for you, we will obviously pass it along, but that may not be for another several weeks because of the lag time.
Not because Doug's ducking me.
No, although I've been accused of that. And I would have good reason.
Once again, Phil fighting that ball to come back in to the left. Ball breaks a little bit from right to left, and he just was really forcing it. Flush on the head pin that time. Can gain 4 and count here. He's opposite a 6 frame, but he needs some marks. Two, 4, 7, 2, 4, 10. Piece of wood behind could help.
Let's see. Yes, it'll get over there. Will it take it? Yes.
A little extra coaxing by Phil Clough. Made that 10-pin fall over.
Phil's 4th mark. All spares. Had to wait on this one, but it did go over.
Flush on the head pin for Jim. 2, 4 on the left and a cluster of 4 pins in the right-hand corner. Oh, a nice try. He's starting a little dry spell of his own now. It's 5 boxes, 2 from the last game and 3 this time without a mark. Moves over to lane 31.
Oh, yeah. Big shot
So
right
much
there.
for that trout. And this was a quick strike in the 1-2 pocket. Phil Clough now, though, working on a spare. Hello. 7-10, but watch the wood. He's got a chance at this. Got a wood that's angled. Look like it's got a good shot at carrying the 7-pin. It's a matter of will the ball take the 10. Just a little too high.
Ooh.
Too high in the wood. Took the 10, left the 7.
And the 10 bucks. Well, Phil has shaved 13 pins off the lead, but now he's opposite a strike here in the 4th. One of of our participating sponsors for this series on Candlepin Stars and Strikes, our friends at Rockingham Toyota Dodge Nissan, inviting you to come to Salem and save. Main Street, Route 97 in Salem, New Hampshire. Rockingham Toyota Dodge Nissan. Tough break for Phil Clough.
Look like two pieces of wood. We're going to clear out the 5-pin. They both hit each other at the same time,
but instead it's a 10 bucks, and we will pause right here for a timeout with Jim Flynn in the lead and working on a strike when we come back. Good look at Jim Flynn as he's set to roll on a strike here in the middle game, leading in the match by 6 right at the moment, plus whatever he puts on this strike.
Let's see, not bad for missing the head pin. He's got the 1, the 3, and the 8 pins left, and a couple pieces of wood to the right of the 3 pin, and also another one between the 1 and the 1 and the 8 pins, which should help. Got to have the head pin though.
Oh boy.
The wood actually cost him, I think. It's a 9 fill on the strike.
Making the lead 15. Let's see what happened on that. Yep.
Wood deflected the head pin away from it.
Oh, Jim right back in the pocket.
Just the 4-pin, all by itself.
Yes.
No problem.
That is Jim's first spare since the 4th box of the first game. But he's had a couple of strikes in the meantime, and he still has the lead. Phil Clough gets it up to the head pin on lane 32. He's been having a little trouble getting the ball to come in for him over on this right side lane.
Now he has to be careful because that's on the right side.
Right there.
I'm just going to use a little more speed, straighten the ball out a little bit so the ball doesn't break away from the right side of the lane. Let's see if he can put 2 in a row here. It's pretty good going in. Wants that 5-pin to go down. It does. 9 fill. 4 fill.
Well, which is it, a 9 or a 4?
Uh-oh, watch out.
Nope.
Wanted to avoid that front piece, but couldn't do it.
There's the 10 bucks.
Well, it reduces the lead down to single numbers, but Jim will more than likely push that into double figures again. He's working on the spare. 6-pin advantage plus this ball. Oh boy, he's right back in the pocket again. And it's 8.
This wood is not going to be much fun, and you can tell by Jim's reaction that he's not looking forward to this shot.
4 and the 8. Got to be right at the 4-pin and cap the wood or turn the wood a little bit.
Oh, he got by.
Or get by the wood.
I thought that wood was completely blocking his way. That wood was way out front, but you can see now from that angle there was just enough room.
From our angle sitting back here, too, it didn't look like he could see the 4-pin. That was a great shot, Jim. Right back in the pocket again, this time a 7 drop. And the 2, 5, and 10. That's one you don't see very often.
No.
Right up and over the 10.
Yep. And it's still there. A 9 box for Jim Flynn, 97 through 8.
Came in leading by 19. Oh boy. Full on the head pin. Spread eagle.
About it one time for Phil Clough. Almost.
That's interesting. The way his ball breaks from right to left, he still tried the right-hand side and almost made it. You would think he would go left because the ball's breaking away. This close. Need some help on the 2-pin. Oh, let's see. Watch out. Ooh, still falling. The 7-pin left.
Coming in next week is our number 3 seed, Jack Quinn. Fremont, New Hampshire. Phil Clough spares in the 8th. Keeping pace, trying to do exactly what Jim Flynn does, at least in the mark department, and Phil's been putting one up every time.
This could be a crucial point in the match with a spare up in the 8th for Phil Clough. If Jim was not to mark, and Phil would put a decent-sized fill and another mark or two, this match could be just about even. Gave it a great effort, but he'll be open in the 9th.
.106 through 9. Jim had a 133 opening game. No, I was just about to say that he'll need a couple of strikes in the 10th to match that. There's one.
My, oh my, there's some big strikes too. They don't take very long to go down, those 10 pins.
That's 3 strikes now for Jim. He hasn't put 2 in a row together. But you'd think it's only a matter of time the way he's throwing it. Not this time, though. Trying to get out of this, and he does with a 9 box, a 125. 2-game total, 258 for Jim Flynn.
Phil needs another mark just to keep pace, but he'd like to mark out. Working on a spin. Got to hurry. No, just 3. Oh, that's the ball he wanted. 1 ball too late.
And 109, so Phil is going to have to mark here in the 10th just to avoid losing any more ground here in the second game.
That'll be 109 through 9. Score is not correct.
Phil's going to have to make a shot here. And it's a 7, a 116 for Phil Clough. A 2-game total of 230. And the lead now 28 pins for Jim Flynn after 2 games with 1 to go. And we'll be back with Game 3 in a minute here on The Winds. Well, we already do have 4 gentlemen qualified for the 6th annual Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions, which will be coming up in the not-too-distant future, when it finally gets warmer, we hope. Joe Ashline sitting on top right now at 441. Peter Flynn also with an outstanding score, 421. John Petorsky is in with a 375, and Mark Gregory is also on board with a 370. So that leaves 2 spots open. 1 bowler from this group will move on, and then we have 1 more series to go before we get into the Tournament of Champions. 6 bowlers in all. Added purse prize money.
4 horsemen right for Phil Clough. Is got to start in a hurry.
And we are very fast, by the way, approaching our 10th anniversary here on Stars and Strikes, just a couple of months away.
And a 9 box for Phil. Trailing by 28, as you can see the scoreboard there. And he needs some marks in a hurry.
Phil let that one slip by again to the right. Not the start he was looking for. Going to be very, very difficult for one of these two guys to run the table in this series. Of course, it's been a while since we've had someone do that in singles, and in this particular series, it's going to be even more difficult with the
whatchamacallits
with
coming
the
out.
three names standing above. Yes.
Jack whatchamacallit, Tim whatchamacallit, and Paul whatchamacallit. Quinn, Lipke, and Berger. Well, doesn't get much tougher than that, I'll tell you.
Oh, big first ball, and I think two pieces of wood collided in the back, or else that would have been a strike.
But you'll be shooting at the 10-pin for a spare.
Got it. So Jim Flynn with that mark puts his lead up over 30 with 8 boxes to go. Phil again coming up short on the head pin to the right, but at least he has something to shoot at.
Yeah, early release with that one, but he gets a good break. He just seems to be fighting it most of the day today.
Nine box for Phil. $100 goes to today's runner-up, 5th place prize money, and of course the winner comes back to face Jack Quinn next Sunday. Don't forget, next Saturday at noon, Stars and Strikes doubles, week 2, and then we're back here Sunday at noon on the Winds of New England.
Jim Flynn working on the spare in a second. And he'll increase the lead some more with this ball. But just 3 more. 4 horsemen left, plus the 6, 9, and 10. Oh, yes.
Yep.
Oh, 2 in a row now for Jim Flynn. Inside of the head pin, ball goes down, takes the 6, 10. Wood does the damage on the rest, but a great shot by Jim Flynn.
Well, it's kind of a funny hit, but he'll take 7.
Kind of delayed reaction there. 3, 7, and 8. 3 pieces of wood in between. Looks good.
Yep.
Looks good.
That is mark number 12 for Jim Flynn, and he is firmly in command here with 6 boxes to go on Stars and Strikes, and we'll be back to finish the match after these words. Don't go away. Phil Clough needs bunches of marks.
And this is going to be a difficult one to start with. The 6, 7, 8, and 9. Good effort there. But he'll be open the first 5 frames, and he's going to have to just about mark out. Hasn't thrown a strike, has he?
Correct. That's correct.
Well, maybe he's due. He's going to have to throw a few of them. Oh, spread eagle.
6 marks for Phil, all spares. Hasn't been able to put marks back to back in the match at all. that'll be a 7. Jim Flynn working on a mark, and another big first ball. And it looked like another sure strike.
That 8-pin was coming forward, and the wood knocked it away from the 5-pin.
Tell you what, Jim Flynn, the way he's rolling right now, he's got it back grooved again, and he's got a shot at a 400 triple here. He needs a 142 to do it. Right now he's at 68 plus a ball in the 5th. Pulled that one just a little bit to the left.
He's himself the 4 horsemen though to the right. 1, 3, 6, 10.
Not quite. And the 10. Phil with the 9 box. Been a struggle all day for Phil, and it's not getting any better here in game 3.
You're right. That was right in the pocket. He's himself the 4, 5, 8, and 9. No wood.
There's the log on Jim Flynn. Had a fine afternoon here. Still with a shot at 400 if he catches fire again here late. '94 through 7. If you're wondering whether there might be a scoring problem on the computer, we're going to check it during the break before we chat with the bowlers. So for those of you who do keep score at home and keep track of the final totals, we'll be verifying them for you when we come back.
And 9 box, 103 through 8 now for Jim.
And he is already closed out Phil Clough in this match.
Oh boy, one of those days. Looked like he should have covered that for a spare, but just not happening today for Phil Clough.
Kind of tops it off, doesn't it? Well, it's interesting, too, Dan. Phil has those 6 marks. 5 of them came here on lane 31. He marked only 1 time on lane 32.
When you get into the 3rd game and a bowler has not thrown 2 marks in a row, you know they're having a tough day.
An 86 for Phil, 316. Again, we're going to verify the scores so that we have everything right during the break, because there might have been a scoring problem. Not going to affect the outcome of the match, of course, and Jim Flynn, with 2 big marks here, could get up to 400. He's got 1. That's his 4th strike. And he'll have a chance at that 2nd mark. Wonder if Jim knows what score he needs for 400.
You would need this, and then I believe a 9 Phil on the strike. On the spare, I should say.
Nope. So it won't be 400, but it will be a very convincing win for Jim Flynn. A very consistent 391 for Jim, and in his first appearance here on Stars and Strikes singles competition, he comes up with the victory. Again, we will check the final score, verify it for you, and chat with the bowlers and try and get some money given away in our bonus ball contest. All coming up after these words. And welcome back. Our first week of the new 4-week series in the book, and boy, a terrific debut in singles competition for Jim Flynn as he got started well early and maybe had a little bit of a drop-off in the middle, but he came on strong again at the end.
Yeah, he made a statement the first 4 boxes, and Phil just fought it all day long. Just couldn't get that ball to come in the head pin, and it's one of those days, and he had a tiger by the tail in Jim Flynn.
That's for certain. Let's talk to both bowlers. First of all, Phil Clough, come on up. We have a check here for you, and that would be $100 for 5th place prize money. And again, congratulations for making it up here. Come on all the way in here so we can get you on camera. I know you got to be disappointed with the score, but again, also Jim had a terrific day too.
Yeah, he bowled well. I couldn't get my ball to break into the head pin, and whenever I did hit it, I went through. So
I was going to say, and when you did get the head pin, it seemed like one little thing would be off. A piece of wood would be in a bad spot, or you just wouldn't get the right break.
yeah, well, that's the way the breaks go. When you're a little bit off, you just don't get them.
Well, again, we appreciate your making the long drive up here to be with us on the program. We hope to see you again, Phil.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks very much. Congratulations. Now, Jim Flynn for the bonus ball on lane 31, $140 at stake. And our bin here just about full of postcards. So hopefully we'll be able to give this money away right now. And let's see, the extra pin carries. It'll be an 8. Come on over here, Jim. We'll chat in just a second. And we're looking for an 8 to match. You're studying this.
I'm digging deep.
Really concentrating. Oh, no. Well, you probably could tell from Dan's reaction. Not a match for Mrs. L. I believe it's Manslow from Chelmsford, Mass. So Mrs. Manslow will be sending you an NHCBA consolation gift, also from the Winds of New England. Jim, slide right on in here. Congratulations. Boy, seem very comfortable out there right from the start.
Not really. I figured I had to jump on Phil early. He's a tough bowler. I've known him for a couple of years now, and I owe it to my brother Pete. He's
right?
got
Yeah.
me going.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he's here.
Well, congratulations. And next week, a guy named Jack Quinn will be here.
Oh, I know Jack. That should be a good one. I used to
looking
bowl
forward.
with him on Fridays.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. So there's a little grudge match, maybe. Okay. Okay. We're looking forward to that. Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Terrific job. And by the way, as we send you over to the ladder for a preview of what's coming up next week, as Jim Flynn will be coming back to face our number 3 seed, Jack Quinn, just to verify the final score from today. Jim Flynn with a 390 and Phil Clough with a 316. So Jim now with 1 win in the bank tries to move up, and we talked about this earlier. This is a very tough series all the way up from the bottom.
Yeah, he's just got to forget who he's bowling, just keep throwing the 390s and let the pins fall where they may.
Well, don't forget to join us next weekend, of course, Saturday at noon for Stars and Strikes doubles, and then next Sunday at noon back here for Candlepin Stars and Strikes here on the Winds of New England. Until then, for Dan Murphy and the whole crew, I'm Doug Brown. Have a good week, everybody.